Today, we will talk about Lucifer's rebellion against God, an event that became a turning point in spiritual history and marked the beginning of the struggle between good and evil. Lucifer, once one of the most powerful angels, rebelled against God, which led to his fall from heaven. Today, you will learn why and how this happened, as well as how this conflict has affected the spiritual world and humanity today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Let's begin. The rebellion of Lucifer happened even before the creation of the material world, when God created the heavens and populated them with angels. Heaven was a place of harmony, where all angels served God and lived in unity with Him. Lucifer, whose name means light bringer, was one of the highest-ranking angels created by God for service and praise. Lucifer was known for his incredible beauty, wisdom, and power, and he was close to the throne of God. In the book of Ezekiel 28:12-17, it says that he was the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Lucifer had the privilege of being one of the cherubim guarding God's throne. He was chosen for a special mission, to be a guardian and bearer of God's light. However, despite his high position, pride began to grow in Lucifer's heart. He began to see himself not merely as a servant of God, but as God's equal. This moment marked the beginning of his fall and the cause of the great conflict in heaven. The reason for Lucifer's rebellion was his pride and ambition. Lucifer, who was created to serve and glorify God, began to desire equality with God. In the book of Isaiah 14:13-14, it speaks of his desire to ascend to heaven, exalt my throne above the stars of God, and sit on a throne that belongs only to God. Lucifer wanted not only a high position, he wanted absolute power. He envied God and could not accept that he was not equal to him. Lucifer's pride was so great that it blinded him, causing him to forget his true purpose. Instead of serving God, he decided he deserved more and actively sought followers among other angels. These angels, seeing Lucifer's power and beauty, also succumbed to pride and decided to follow him. In the end, Lucifer gathered a significant number of angels who rejected God's authority and decided to challenge the heavenly order. When Lucifer and his followers rebelled, a great battle took place in heaven. This battle was not merely a physical conflict, it was a manifestation of the spiritual struggle between good and evil, between the order established by God and the chaos that Lucifer sought to bring. The Bible does not provide a detailed description of the battle itself, but it makes it clear that God's forces, represented by the faithful angels, won. Lucifer and his supporters were defeated and cast out of heaven, losing their position and privileges. Their defeat marked the beginning of their transformation into fallen angels and demons, who now act as forces of darkness in the world. After their defeat, Lucifer and his angels were cast down to earth. This fall was not merely a relocation in space, it symbolized the loss of status, power, and grace that Lucifer once held in heaven. He was no longer the light bringer. He now became Satan, the adversary of God and the symbol of evil. His fall marked the beginning of his role as deceiver and tempter, striving to destroy God's plan for humanity. Lucifer and his angels are now in constant opposition to God, attempting to destroy what God has created. Their fall serves as a warning to all about the consequences of pride and disobedience. Alongside Lucifer, other angels who followed him were also cast out of heaven. These angels became known as fallen angels or demons. In the book of Jude 1:6, it says that the angels did not keep their positions of authority but abandoned their proper dwelling and are now in a state of condemnation. The fallen angels became Satan's allies in his struggle against God, seeking to deceive and destroy humanity. After his fall, Lucifer began actively intervening in human affairs. His main goal is to disrupt God's plan and lead people away from the path of righteousness. In the book of Genesis, we see the first manifestation of this influence when Satan, in the form of a serpent, tempts Eve. This leads to the fall of the first humans and their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. Since then, Satan continues to deceive and tempt people, seeking to separate them from God and deprive them of salvation. Lucifer's rebellion is an event that opened the chapter of the great spiritual battle that continues to this day. Lucifer, once the light bringer, fell because of his pride and became Satan, the adversary of God and humanity. This story reminds us of the importance of humility, obedience, and faithfulness to God. God's power and love are stronger than any forces of darkness, and each of us can choose the side of light by following God's path. Thank you for being with us today. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. See you in the new episodes.